should I say. It's freezing out there. It's not much warmer in here, I'm afraid, either, so please bear with us. So I'll just quickly read this statement out. It's just about questions to the council and so on. So, members of the public, question time at full council meetings. 1, questions must be relevant to the work of the council. 2, the chairman may reject a question if it is about a matter for which the council does not have responsibility or which does not affect the area. It is defamatory, frivolous or offensive, or is an attack on or insult to an individual councillor or councillor. It is substantially the same as a question which has been put at a meeting of the council in the previous 6 months. The questioner has already asked the question of the parish council either by letter, email or phone call and has received a written reply. It requires the disclosure of confidential or exempt information. Total time allocated to questions and answers shall not exceed 15 minutes unless the chair at their discretion extends that time for the purpose of the hearing an answer to the last question, but before the expiry of such hearing of 15 minutes. And 4, unless the chair decides otherwise, no discussion will take place on any question and replies to questions will be in writing. Okay, so we'll start with questions and comments from the general public. Who'd like to start off? So, yeah.
Can I just ask if any council's got an interest in any microbreweries or breweries, please?
You can. Do we have any interest in breweries or microbreweries? Not as far as I'm aware.
Could I just ask if any council's got any interest in Wildean's development, please?
In buildings development?
In Wildean's, Johnny Cleland's bungalow development.
In what, sorry?
Wildean's development. Johnny Cleland's bungalow area where they're going to build 10 houses.
Not as far, I mean, judging by the response, I'm guessing, no, they don't.
Alright, cheers, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from yeah?
Yeah, I wrote it down to keep it simple. I would like to make the council aware that following my attendance at the parish council meeting on the 13th of November, I was verbally assaulted by a fellow attendee while existing these premises.
First of all, apologies for that. That should never happen to anyone, so no. I really do apologise for that happening.
Yeah. I just want the council to be aware of this.
If you, thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah.
I'd probably suggest if you share further details with
I can if you want.
Yeah.
It would be good to know a little bit more information,
Yeah,
because if it's on our premises, if we need to do things to safeguard, then I'd like to know more about that.
And we can we'll look into that and just, see what we can do. I mean, I can't really give much more.
I just wanted to make a note of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? No? We're sure? Okay then. We'll go to full agenda then. Thank you very much. So item 1, just a reminder by the Chair of the Council's expectations for the audio or visual recording of this meeting. Parish Council meeting may be recorded under the Openness of Local Government Regulations 2014. Devices are to be placed on the table provided throughout the meeting. Can I just double check who's recording, if that's okay?
Yeah.
I'll record it, Sean.
Yeah.
And is anyone else recording? No? Oh, we're recording as well, so that's the standard sort of thing. Okay, evening. So we'll move on to apologies then, please. So to receive apologies for absence given in advance of the meeting.
So in advance of the meeting, Chair, we've had apologies from Councillor Maiden, Cook and Marshall, which have all been recorded in the book.
Excellent. And all councillors approve those absences, this next thing? Excellent, thank you. Item 3 then, declarations of interest and dispensations. So 3.1, to receive any declarations of interest not already declared under the Council's Code of Conduct or a member's register of disclosure of pecuniary interests on items on the agenda. 3.2 will be to receive, consider and decide upon those applications, disclose both pecuniary interest and to grant those requests. Do we have any? No. Thank you very much. Item 4, to receive available reports from the following. So West Yorkshire Police, and we have those stats have been part of the pack. Does anyone have any comments or questions? I personally won't be able to answer them, but just if there's any action, maybe we might want further clarification or not. Just to chat, has there been anything further? It's just the stats we've got.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we can keep reviewing that. I'll just move on to the next one, which is to receive reports from district councillors. We had any through? No, non-rotating. There we go. The next one is admin reports from Parish Council representatives on outside audits of
I've had a chance to write it officially.
verbal reports back.
First off, I went to the PACT meeting, and it was myself and one other person. There was nothing really to report from the police, and nothing questioned of them. So it was a very quick meeting.
Very quick.
Last Thursday.
It
was that one. Lorraine was off ill anyway, so it was. I don't think it was that concern as well. So yeah, just a quick meeting on that. Nothing to report. But Susie and I also attended the Heritage Group last week. Just a couple of things from that. They've got a blue plaque made for Harry Miles, the photographer, historian of the village, to go on his house. It's got things sorted. They're incredibly efficient. They've set up their lecture programme for 2025 as well as 2024. So that seems great. But one that I think what they were given, and it was a lot of photographs from Harry Miles, loads of his albums, and they want to help identify where they all are and maybe when they were taken, and it's going to be a big job to do it, and they're hoping, and I think they'll get in touch with Gemma to see if they can book a room here, which they would like to have free of charge, but they haven't made that formal request, I suppose, yet, but I'm just like forewarned on that. So we just want to invite people, so I said hopefully as a parish council we can maybe promote that a bit, because the more people that can come along that might know where something is, because apparently Harry took loads of photos, put them all in albums, but he didn't date or anything. and so some of them would be difficult to know where they are when they were taken, but they just hope people can help so that there's a record for it. I think that was about all. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're hoping to do an event a bit like they used to do on the village green, but can't do. Yeah. So they'll do something. I mean, certainly to avoid the gala, but maybe try and do something then as well for it. Yeah, they've got an event on the 25th, talk on fish and ships, not chips. Is their next talk, which is held here. So.
Well, they've started this year running, haven't they?
Yeah.
Messing around there.
No, they seem very efficient. So,
yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyone else? No? Okay, so item 5, to approve the minutes of the full parish council meeting on the 11th of December was true and correct. Are there any, can I get a proposer and seconder? Proposer, Sarah? Seconder? Carolyn, seconder. Any comments or questions or? No? Okay, I'll move to a vote then. All those in favour of accepting the minutes as true and accurate? Full house. Okay, so that means that. Item 6, committee and subcommittee meetings. 6.1, to receive the minutes of the autumn subcommittee meeting held on the 5th of January 2024 and approve the recommendations within that. And again, in the pack. Can I get a proposer and seconder? Sarah's moving, John's seconding. Any comments or questions? Okay, I'll move to a vote then, that we receive those minutes and approve recommendations within them. All those in favour? Eight in favour.
Yeah.
Between us, we'll get through the meeting. Any abstentions or one abstention? Okay. Item 7 to receive burial rights. And again, on the assistant document, that's in the patch there. So we've got 5 and 12. All right, then. 4. So yeah, we'll happy to receive those, I'm guessing, yeah. Financial matters, so item 8, 8.1, to receive and approve the accounts to the end of December 2023. Again, that was part of the pack for the receipts. Can I get proposed and a seconder for those? Nathan proposing. Seconder, please. Sarah seconding. Any comments or questions on the accounts?
Are we doing them all together?
We can go through page.
No, just asking, that's all. Not suggesting we do it, just asking.
Yes, so we're just doing 8.1 to start with.
All right.
But yeah. No, I'll take if there's no comments or questions. Can I move to a vote in favour of accepting those accounts? So that's 8.1 that voted on. Got 8. Are you voting, Stephen? Are you abstaining? Oh,
Yeah.
abstaining, okay. Sorry, you were the only one left, that was all.
It's not recorded anyway, is it?
No. 8.2 then, to receive and approve payments to be made and petty cash account, so 15th of January 24. So we've got part of that in the packs, and then we've got the handout, which is just coming down.
Thank you.
Can I get a proposer and seconder for those ones, please? Carolyn proposing and a seconder, please. John seconding. Any comments or questions on the two documents? I realise we're going to just receive the some of the payments.
Well, the only comment, Chair, is that adding up all the things about Saturday, all the costs on Saturday, it seems to add up to less than 620 quid, which I think for 2 days, a 2-day event that size, it's just amazing, really. Including
It was
Saturday.
over £1,000 last month, though.
That's
So
what
it
I
was
was
about 1,100, I think, last month, so
Yeah.
it's actually 1,800.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, I'll move to a vote. Those in favour, please. Eighteen, 9, full house. Thank you very much. Okay, so item 9. So to consider and decide upon the following planning applications. Do you mind if I come to you?
No,
Is that all right? Do you mind?
Yeah, no,
It's
that's all
all the regular things now. So.
right. Yeah. Well, just in terms of these, the first one, Fairacre. We've got Fairacre and then later on we've got Fairways. But Fairways, Pontefract Road. In itself, I don't see an issue with that. Basically, they've got an entrance into their property, which is, but I think they've converted or built something on it. So they've now got kind of 2 buildings. So they want to put another entrance in and kind of, it means moving a bit of the existing wall. And there is actually a bit of drop curve, so maybe at some point in history there already was an entrance there. But I did see some residents have concerns. I don't think there's anything we can do it, but we maybe ought to remember and note it. Some residents had concerns that it's a very big plot of land there, and if they've got a second entrance, it might make it rather a lot easier for them to, at some point in the future, apply for planning permission to utilise that land and put quite a few houses on. And if they've already got the entrance, that's easier. But I don't, because it's all included, I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. Other than make sure we keep a note of it and kind of remember, I suppose. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
But because in itself, I don't, it's another entrance onto the road, but it's not going to make any big difference, I don't think, for that. The second one, 140 Pontefract Road. That's the one, if you're coming from Pontefract into the village, when you get to the first right-hand corner, it's the newish house directly in front of you. And
Right.
basically just putting a bigger bay window on, I think. So I don't think there's any issue with that. But we have had, the other one, 32 Banks Avenue, is of more concern because certainly residents near there are quite concerned about this change of use, because it is currently a residential house in the middle of Banks Avenue, which is purely residential. And the application is from a company in Scotland to convert it to residential accommodation for what is almost certainly troubled teenagers. I think it says age 8 to 17. And to have 2 children with 2 full-time carers. And certainly we were contacted by a couple of the people that live nearby because they were very concerned about it for...
I seem to remember this from the December meeting.
I think we had a bit of an email conversation, but we've since spoken to the new senior residents just to find out a bit more. And the people that live kind of immediately beside it, apart from actually next door that is currently for sale, just selling or something, are very concerned because they've not necessarily quite loss of privacy, but the potential for noise, lots of disruption from... Because if you've got 2 full-time carers, there might be a driveway for 2 cars, but if you've got 2 carers in the next shift, they won't be able to
Yeah.
do it, so the concern might be parking and lots of other visitors, and there's not a lot of, it's actually on a bit of Banks Avenue between two 90-degree corners on the junction with Stonegate, is it Stonegate Lane? I think
Which
it
is
goes
much
down
narrower.
a cul-de-sac sort of thing, and that's very narrow. So parking potentially could become a big issue for it. So they're concerned about that, but also just
They're all elderly residents.
elderly
Yeah.
and whilst obviously they couldn't choose a family that lived there, children, the kind of children, one of them is an ex-social worker but retired now, and she said the kind of people that they'd be talking about are not necessarily, they've not had a good life and not in a good, the kind of children that unfortunately can't be fostered, and that's not necessarily ideal to be moving in next door, next to some retired people. So my recommendation, I suppose, would be, having looked at what there are, just bear with me a moment, potentially highways, but also kind of a detrimental effect on the character of the local area, and a couple of other things that may be, it's difficult looking at the reasons we can object, but things like impact on the community basically around it, that